Brooke and Ed Show.
We got a very fantastic guest in today, haven't we?
I know. I'm really high and excited. We've got John Adeleye in the show. I'm going to try and stay professional and ask straight questions, but you're making me nervous with your presence.
Please don't.
So you were in the finalist for the show last year.
Indeed.
And so what have you been up to since then? That's obviously a very big question.
Well, Brooke.
Yes.
Since the show.
Since the show.
Well, I've been doing all right actually. I've been doing a bit of touring up and down the country. It's been great. Loving to meet all the fans, the people who watch the show, telling me what they thought. Most of them told me that they wanted to throw some object at Simon Cowell's head.
Yeah, that's natural.
That's quite natural, yeah. Pretty much the response has been great. It's been beautiful. Doing the shows, writing the music now, which is great.
So you've got an album coming out, I believe.
The album, I think it won't happen until next year now because we've got the single coming out first, and that's for Project Waterfall.
So tell me about Project Waterfall, because this is for a charity that are you involved with
I'm a
personally
patron
as well?
of. I'm a
You're
patron,
of. That's great.
Yeah.
And the single's called
Coming Home.
Coming Home. And where can people find out about the single?
Well, the charity is basically it's part of Allegra Foundation, and we're focused on raising funds for Project Waterfall, and that is to bring clean running water to coffee-making countries. They focus on a certain country every year. This year it's Tanzania, which is in Africa. Just so you know.
Sorry, I'm not President George W. Bush. I've got some idea of where stuff is.
George Blair, I believe his name is now.
Yeah, they had a baby. It's what we all feared would happen.
So yes, it's a good cause. We're trying to get at least raise up to at least £1 million or so. And the single, every pound that goes into the song is going to go out there. We're trying to bring clean running water to make pumps, so they can basically do something as simple as turn on the tap and get some water out. You know, and what we're trying to do comparisons for over here, because coming home, we're trying to ask people the question: what's it like for you when you come home? How do you feel when you come home? And for most people, it's like, what's the first thing you do? Most people get in and they put the kettle on straight away, you know, and they get some water out of the tap again for that, or they'll go for a shower or a bath or something like that, you know, and it's just so simple for us to say that, but over there they don't have that. So,
no, not at all.
So that's what we're trying to do, raise awareness for that, and just get something good going. And I'm always about charities. I hate when they say just give us the money, you know. It's just like, no, I want to give you something for that, you know. So that's why we've done this song, and hopefully people like it and get on board.
That's great. And the album that you're working on, is this right in thinking that you worked with Luke Floriani on it as well? Because we had him on the show.
Old Flores.
Yeah.
You got Flores.
My Australian beanpole, he's it.
What's up, my Australian beanpole? That is a specific greeting.
Yeah, Flores is good. He wrote the song initially.
Oh, he wrote this single?
He actually wrote this single.
Great.
And that's what it was. And the charity, him, and Coffee Week approached me and asked me if I would like to get involved and see what I could do with it. And I was like, yeah, surely. So myself and a guy called John Landau have produced it, sat down trying to get the sounds just right. We were going to go for this electro monster, and we thought it's just not fitting, is it?
No.
This kind of charity. So I thought, all right, you know, we'll do it properly, and we've got this kind of organic kind of calypso vibe, kind of, you know, I'm playing the ukulele and, you know, singing my thing away.
Because you don't want like
exactly.
Give water. It's not really the right kind of feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, however, there will be some remixes. So
there we go. Okay,
so
nice. Could Ed produce it, maybe?
Yes. It's about time. It's about time. My electric waterfall.
Perfect. So obviously that's a great cause. Can we talk about something a little bit more trivial, but probably more up my street? Let's talk about X Factor. I'm sure you're tired talking about it, but I mean, what was the relationship like with the judges and stuff? Because do you actually get to see them that often, or do they they say that they're your mentors and then they just kind of leave you to it?
They hide in a mansion. We hide in another mansion, and we don't see each other basically.
Only on the live show.
Only on the live show.
Really?
Every day.
So
okay.
not that much more
all right. I'm only lying a little bit. Basically, what happens is you get there, you get to judges' houses, and they basically pick you as they pick me, and I was just like, this is great. And Louis, who was my mentor, because I can't speak for everybody else, comes up to me and goes, here's my card, call me anytime. I'm just like, wait a minute, this is Louis Walsh's card in my hand. Can't believe it, you know what I mean? And he said, look, call me anytime, anything you need. And I did phone him, and anytime I had a suggestion for something, he'd say, it's completely wrong, you're totally wrong, I'll tell you how it's going to get done. So as mentoring goes, they were all right.
But going to Louis Walsh's, what does he put up a spare bed for you, or just to sleep on the sofa or something?
Yeah, he actually put me on the golf course, actually.
Did he?
Yeah, set up
in a bunker?
Tenant on the golf course, yeah.
Really?
Golf anytime you like. Exclusively here.
So how do you get on with the contestants?
Pretty well, actually. I have to say, when we first started, it was, you know, you've got One Direction, 17, 16-year-olds, you know, on heat, you know, away from home for the first time. What are you going to do? You've got...
So how many of them were actually in the group?
5 of them.
Okay, that confused me, because you said 17, 16-year-olds. I was like, that's a pretty big group. That's not music, that's just an army. You mess with them, right, sing a better song, they're just going to invade you. They're going to hold you down.
They were great. They were great. You got Wagner on heat, 17, 16... I mean, sorry, mature gentlemen.
Oh, yes.
Wagner on heat. Terrifying image.
No, you just basically, to be fair with you, everybody came in pretty starstruck, you know, like really, this is so new to them. It's such a great opportunity for them, and everybody, you know, you usually go somewhere, there's always one person in the house who's got that kind of horrible attitude, who thinks they're better than everybody else, or whatever it is that people do, and no one did that, you know. Even Katie Wazel, who everybody says was a terror and a drama queen and this and that, you know, she had her moments, but you know, nothing out of the ordinary for her character and what people really like.
How did she handle all that press and attention? Because, I mean, it seems that with shows like that, they just take one person and they pick them as the like you said, the tearaway. Or they have to pick characters for the show, and obviously she was the one for the series.
She was indeed, yeah.
And how did she handle all that pressure?
Katie reminds me, and I don't know if I should put these two names in the same sentence, like Michael Jackson.
He used to put lots of names in sentences. He's a name dropper.
Well, in the sense of, I remember in the 80s, apparently Michael generated a lot of his own press. Yeah. You know, and that's what a lot of celebrities, well, not all of them, but a lot of celebrities do. They generate their own press through PR and publicity, and then when it all goes sour, they'll start complaining that, you know, please go away now. I don't want it anymore. And I think that was the Katie Wazel approach. I think she generated a lot of her own press. So whatever came at her, she was thick-skinned. She did complain and say, "Oh, I don't like it." But as opposed to Cher Lloyd, who I just thought she got an unfair treatment as far as I'm concerned, in the sense of she's 17, she didn't ask for anything, but the attention was so much focused on her that, you know, she couldn't control any of that stuff. And
unlike Jedward, who no matter how much press they generate, they never get enough, do they?
They love it.
Never even get enough. Only a tiny bit. they need it so much.
They love it. Myself, it was so daunting for me, but hey, I loved the whole experience of it. It was great.
We'll be hearing more from you after a bit of La Rue. Everything you say now will definitely be heard. The mics are up. Hooray!
I've done all my bad mouthing, so that's good.
Got it out your system.
Covered everybody.
Well done, Ed.
No one was left untarnished by my horrific mouth. Good, well, we're back with our fantastic guest, John Adeleye.
Oh yeah, did you hear we were doing the yodeling?
We were like,
earlier?
you're a good guest if I can yodel your name.
That's how you know you've made it.
John Adeleye.
It's great because you've got so many vowels at the end of your name, so it makes it easy. You tried to do it with my name, Brooke Burfitt.
Exactly. No, that's why Brooke can't live in Austria. It's a fact. Anyway, we're talking to John Adeleye.
Oh yes, let me ask a couple of questions that we've had in for emails. Have you heard Cher Lloyd's new single, and what do you think of it?
The Swagger Jagger. I heard about
Swagger Jagger.
That's what it's called.
It's like a dance sensation. The Swagger Jagger.
I still haven't heard it.
I think she's trying to set a new trend. You know, I mean, she went on the show with getting her swag on, right?
Yes, she did. I remember seeing that, but I haven't heard this single.
It's interesting to get your swag on, because swag used to be the thing that written on bags that robbers used to have.
I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. That was swag. That was that. Yeah. So basically, dress up like a robber. Is that that's the advice?
I'm going to a party where there's a prison theme on Saturday. My first fancy dress.
Okay, that was good. Okay, fair enough, Brooke. That was actually relevant, because usually she'll just say, "Oh, I'm going to a party." And I'm like, "Is this relate to anything today?" Just saying. So that's good. Well done. That's
Don't mean to boast. Don't mean to brag. Mary South Acton asked, "Were you a fan of the show before you were involved?"
I was only a fan of the show in the sense of when I saw like 1 or 2 acts that I thought really deserved that spot, you know, and actually like people like JLS.
Oh gosh, yeah. You forget that they were.
But you have a JLS connection already.
Indeed, that's what it was.
Music teacher.
Yeah, so I saw.
Really?
I saw.
Who's done the research this week?
Oh no.
Too busy fantasising about her robber party on Saturday. Not enough time looking at lies on Wikipedia like me.
Indeed. I trained some boys beforehand, some girls, and they basically wanted to sing, and I said, look, come see me, and they did, and then went off and became famous. And the thing is, they worked so hard before the show, and then when I saw them on the show, I just thought, you guys are amazing. To go from a boy band taking care of yourselves to go on a show where they would eat you alive, and actually behind the scenes, no one knows this, but these boys are so in control of their own career. It's unbelievable. When they were on the show, and you'll notice one of the auditions, if you ever watched the JLS audition, Simon was like, I like you boys, especially you, and he was pointing at one of the boys, and he just I asked Arisha after, he said, I was like, what was that about? He goes, look, he just said he could see I got that attitude, that buzz, that vibe, you know. So the opportunity it generates, I do like that. For the creative aspect, and sometimes I'm not so happy. I was involved in it. I was original final 12. I did 3 weeks, and I'm still 12.
It's tough, really, because obviously, I mean, that show, for all the obviously creative people that will go on there, it is primarily an entertainment show, isn't it? Yeah. It's rather like when they have like The Apprentice, for example, and what that has become, or what it always really was, because no one has a serious business, you know, like thing on TV.
I mean, it's all business at the end of the day, because when you look at television, they always talk about ratings and things like that. So I guess that's the actual thing that holds it back a little bit, and reflects today's music industry, because you know, they're trying to do it fast, they're trying to do it quick. It's all for that week and that week alone. You know, it's not right now. You're not talking about it. You know, so well, we are, but you know, it's more. I'm a longevity man. You know, I like to say if it was a show that kind of promoted that, because it does. Leona Lewis, Alexandra Burke. You know, there are acts that do come out of it and do have a long career. However, most people don't. I was lucky enough to have a good attitude before I've gone into it, and I will, as I said, I will do music for as long as I can. You know, and that's me. I want to be there and I want to do it. So I don't love the show for what it does, but I was glad as I said, I'm glad for the opportunity that it gives to people.
Because I mean, there are a lot of people who along the X Factor lines who could probably walk down the street, not being musicians, get a haircut, come out, and they're suddenly a musician. It's amazing how that works, isn't it? Isn't it? So you know, and you're obviously someone who's been involved in music, you know, for all their lives, pretty much.
I mean, I won a MOBO in 2003.
You did, 2003.
That's for songwriting. That was great. Went into the industry. Wasn't really ready for it. Decided to come out and gig, you know, because I didn't really do a lot of gigs before that. So I spent 3 or 4 years gigging and enjoying the fans, you know,
and
the live.
Because when you won that Soul Glow, wasn't it, that the single? And you were like, you had the name Janae, was it?
Janae, still my name, Janae. Because it was a nickname given to me through college. There was a John A, there was John I, Johnny, and I was John A. So Janae, baby.
Speaking of live events, you'll be headlining the Danson Festival. Indeed. Is that right? That's the 2nd of July.
What's that? The what festival?
The Danson Festival.
Danson.
It's not like about Ted Danson, is it? Because that wouldn't be. I think that's a bit like too specific. I'm not sure if that's a good demographic there.
2 men and a Janae.
So people can see you in Bexley. If you want to find out more about the charity, go to www.allegrafoundation.com and you can find out the single there on there.
That's right, and you can find me on Twitter, which is John J Adeleye. Loads of information on there.
All right, thank you so much.
It's been absolutely lovely talking to you.
You're welcome, you too. Make me laugh.